So Abram takes the lead in trying to solve this thing.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about his approach?
Like, stop following me, bro. Like, you literally can go anywhere. Just pick a side. But I think that's also why in the beginning I was like, why is Lot just like tagging along? It's mass space. Spread out. God been telling y'all to spread out for a long time. I was like, they be needing too much to get the clue. Like, move out, spread out. There's land, there's space, you don't even have to go to the left or right. Go, just go.
Just get out of here.
Anywhere.
What is going on, XYZers, XYZ Nation? We got generational scriptures back up in the area, doing our thing. Yeah, all right, that's enough of that. But we're glad that we get to get this next episode out to you. Today we're looking at Genesis chapter 13, and the title is Now Walk It Out.
That's actually pretty good. Yeah, I know that one.
And now I got the all in the back of my head, and that'll be there for the rest of the episode. So, and you all know it, which makes it even better.
Yeah. That's like one of the only ones you've done so far.
I know.
That we know.
I was like, if they don't know this, do you know it, Moyo?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You gonna get up and do the dance with you?
No. Because I know you would.
I feel like that's very millennial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lock it out.
Cool. Then we're supposed to do something else, and that is to introduce ourselves. So I am the latchkeyed one himself, the former X-Man representing Gen X. Again, all up in the area. Chris, and next to me we have...
I am Maya, the resident millennial. And next to me is
Jasmine, your microwaver.
Yay!
And together we are
Generational Scriptures.
Where's your sound effects?
They delayed too much.
Okay. All right.
So,
throw them in
I
later.
got to figure out, how to not make it delay.
Okay.
Because it's going through the Wi-Fi, I think, and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
But hey, we'll figure it out. I wanna do something so I don't have to scream.
Okay.
All right, and then we're fancy now. We're not fancy. We've grown up. This is our 4th season. We got trees, painting, rug. Woo, we come a long way, y'all.
We have. And to prove it, go back and watch our very first episode.
Yes.
Or even from season 2. It's been like a big adjustment.
It has. Yeah. It has. And with that growing up, we have segments now. So we are going to start off with Jasmine's tea.
Yeah. And then my little cue sound effect, my little pouring of the tea. So I did it a little differently this time. And it's kind of fun. I used our handy dandy AI to help me out. So for chapter 12, I was looking at cool discussion points for the chapter that just would spark it would be food for thought and spark conversation. Mm-hmm. But one of the talking points that discussion points it gave me was being a blessing to the world. So if you go back to Genesis chapter 12 verse 3, it talks about all people on the earth will be blessed through you talking to Abram. Mm-hmm. And similar, I will bless you and you will be a blessing in verse 2. I was thinking about this because I thought it's really interesting. Okay, before I get there, one of the questions that it gave to follow up with if we were in a round table discussion was what are some specific ways God might be using your life to influence others? And how do we experience or recognize God's blessings when we obey today? So I think sometimes or most times God does things in our life and blesses us in certain ways for the purpose for us to keep going. So like at my church, one of the things that they talk about a lot is finding your gift and then using it in the church to help, like, your generation, other generations, etc. So people have told me that I have a gift to work with younger people.
Okay.
So like I work on the usher board, and I found that to be my thing that my way to continue to be a blessing. And I've had a lot of like really good experience just in life. I was blessed with scholarships, and I was able to go through higher education, and I had a really good support in like high school, and just a lot of very fortunate events that led me to where I am. And I was talking to someone like, I don't know why the Lord keeps doing this. Not that I want hardship, but I feel like I've had a lot of blessings in my life. And why else would he continue to do these things in like boom, 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 boom if it wasn't to help someone else or another group of people and continue it forward? So I think it's important for like younger people, especially because I think we get caught up in, we're very self-absorbed, my generation. So we look at it like, oh great, okay, thank you for that blessing, or I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna enjoy it. But never to we have to be careful not to forget that we have it for a reason, and it's to continue to be a blessing to other people. So it's just food for thought. I thought it's just an interesting call out in the scriptures that is relevant today. So yeah, just something to keep in mind.
Yeah. So pay it forward.
Yeah.
Bless others.
Yeah, because the Lord has blessed you, and I'm sure even if it's hard to see the blessing, if you take a step back and look at your life, big picture, bird's eye view, there's more blessings than you can count.
Okay.
So, yeah, and that's it for Jasmine's tea.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah. Cool. Next up, we have our Alright, so boom.
My favorite segment.
Ms. Moyo?
Yes. I feel like I need to be quicker in these sometimes because of our reels. So I will try my best to not be long winded. All right. So in chapter 12, we go back to our previous chapter, give a summary. So the summary for chapter 12, we have God talking to Abram, telling him to leave his people, leave his father's house, leave everything, and go to a land that God will show him. And then he tells him that he's going to make him a great nation, bless him. He will be a blessing. He'll bless those who bless him, curse those who curse him. And all the people of the earth will be blessed through Abram.
Right.
Then Abram does as God says. He leaves his father's land, but he takes his wife and his nephew Lot and everything that all of their possessions, all of the things they've acquired so far, and they head towards Canaan. It says they traveled through the land of Shechem at the Oak of Moreh. And God tells him, like, this is the land I'm going to give you and your offspring. And again, we have to remember that at this time he has no offspring, so this is a promise of something that he can't necessarily see clearly right now. But Abram builds an altar there to the Lord, and he worships there. And then he continues traveling, but at some point there's a famine. During this famine in the land of Canaan, Abram decides to go to Egypt. Yep. And on his way to Egypt, he tells his wife, like, I know you look good, so just tell them you're my sister, because they don't want to take you and they're going to kill me. So instead of them killing me, just tell them you're my sister so that, things will go well for me. Like his plan, solid plan, but also a little a little suspect. So she goes with it. That's her husband. So she does what he says. And like he thought, they take Sarai, and they give her to Pharaoh. We don't know what actually happened, but we do know that God sends plagues to them. And he's like, hey, what are y'all doing? Like, take your wife. Why didn't you tell me it was your wife? Why would you say it's your sister when this is your whole wife? Right. And he also he originally had already was doing well for Abram when they got there because of his quote unquote sister. But as he's sending him away, he still sends him away with things, with a lot of things, because I guess it's like, I'm not going to take it back, but also here, just take whatever you need and go. Like, take your plagues, take your stuff, take your wife and go. And I think that's how it ends. That's where we end off at.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we are jumping into chapter 13 where we see what happens after that.
Yep, exactly. Thank you. Yeah, that's crazy. It's like Pharaoh is just like, get out of here.
Yeah, take everything. Just
Yeah,
go.
please.
Just go.
We don't want no parts of it. So that brings us to chapter 13 of Genesis.
Yeah.
Yes.
So y'all ready to dive in?
We ready.
Yep.
All right, let's get it.
Okay, so this is Genesis chapter 13, verse 1. So Abram went up from Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him, into the Negeb.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
That's it.
that's it.
So a lot of people take this verse and they actually tack it on to the end of chapter 12 when you look at a lot of commentaries. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
But since we didn't do it, we got to talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we see? What's going on?
One thing, so we talked about how there was a famine, right? There's a famine, and that's the reason you came to Egypt.
Yep.
Is it because we now were given all of this stuff that I can go back and this is enough to sustain me during the famine? Or could you have stayed there? Like, could you have just stayed instead of going to Egypt in the first place?
Yeah. That's a good question.
Yeah, I think we
Because
kind
it
of touched
seems,
on that.
yeah, I feel like it seems like immediate. You came here,
Yeah.
y'all did too much,
Yeah.
you got sent back, and you're just like, okay, I'll
Yeah.
go back.
Yeah.
Then why did you come?
Why'd you come? Is the famine over at this point?
It doesn't feel like enough time has passed for it to
doesn't.
be over.
Right.
We're not told. You had
Yeah.
something that you wanted to say?
No, so I think we touched on that last episode.
Uh-huh.
That like could he have just stayed? Like would they have been okay? And I don't think it's a leap to say that if the Lord tells you something that he will provide what you need. So
Yeah.
I think that he would have been fine. But I mean, going and coming back, and we'll see later. And we talked about a little bit before that they now have a lot more than what they had. So maybe that was the intent. Because he was fearful. Okay, there's a famine. We need to live for this promise, to be filled. Maybe now he feels like they have enough to sustain themselves so that they can get to where they need to get to.
Maybe. Yeah. That's one of the notes I had, just like you. Like, okay, what's up with this famine? Is it gonna
Yeah.
get over? I mean,
It doesn't feel over.
It doesn't. It seems like it was quick, like you
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
but he couldn't stay.
Yeah.
Pharaoh wasn't gonna let that happen. So, and then he goes right back. It says to where he started, right, Negeb.
Mm-hmm.
And do y'all feel like Lot is an afterthought?
No, I feel like he's there at every stage. It's always like, and Lot. Like, don't forget about Lot. Lot is here.
So Abram went up from Egypt. Abram, his wife, and all that he had. So I'm mentioning Abram, I'm mentioning Sarai, and then I'm mentioning all their stuff, and then I mention Lot.
I think he's an afterthought. Personally, I felt like Lot is like, I'm walking. I think, yeah, Moya, you said this before. Like, I'm walking forward and you're following me. But
I'm going. I don't know, but that's why I don't know if it's an afterthought, or are you saying to Abram or to the writer?
I think that the writer is painting Lot in this light
for a reason.
that
Yeah.
says that it's
Like, don't forget he's here.
yeah, he's
Don't
still
forget.
here, and should he be here? That's what I'm sort of getting from the way,
I feel
Yeah.
and we see it again. I think a little later.
Yeah. And I wasn't thinking afterthought because it's like in your face.
Okay.
Do you have to keep telling me Lot is here?
Like,
Yes, we know Lot is here.
Yeah.
That's part of the group now.
yeah.
But I guess if you didn't point it out, maybe we would think he stayed behind. But I think that would have also been explicitly said, like they left Lot because of how they mentioned him.
Yeah.
Even when who is Abram's dad? Even when
Terah.
Yeah, even when he took him, it said like he took this, and Lot.
And
like,
Lot,
don't
right.
forget Lot. Lot is important.
Yeah, and I wonder if the writer is doing this also because he wants. I'm wondering if in the back of people's minds when they were reading this was like, "Ooh, Lot could be the heir."
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You know,
That's a good point. I see that.
Like
So
the offspring
yeah,
for
because Abram's up there. We know Sarah's going to get up there, but they got Lot. Lot could be the one that springs everything forth, and that's how this blessing gets to Abram.
No, I never heard that or thought of that.
I wonder if people were thinking that, and that's why. So maybe because I have that thought. Whenever the writer puts it down, I'm like, why is Lot all the way? I'm going to mention my stuff before I mention Lot. You know,
Yeah.
so not dogmatic about it, but it's just interesting to me that everything seems to roll that way.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on first verse?
Mm-mm.
All right.
All right. Genesis chapter 13, verses 2 to 7. Now Abram was very rich in livestock, in silver, and in gold. And he journeyed on from the Negeb as far as Bethel to the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Ai, to the place where he had made an altar at the first. And there Abram called upon the name of the Lord. And Lot, who went with Abram, also had flocks and herds and tents, so that the land could not support both of them dwelling together, for their possessions were so great that they could not dwell together. And there was strife between the herdmen of Abram's livestock and the herdmen of Lot's livestock. At that time, the Canaanites and the Perizzites were dwelling in the land.
Wow. So they come out, and we still see him backtracking and following basically the same path downward, right?
Mm-hmm.
I read one commentary and they said it was almost like he was trying to reclaim what he had lost. That's why it was like, is this a walk of shame type of thing? I don't know if it is or isn't, but it gives me that kind of thing. But what else do y'all see is going on that caught your interest?
I only thought this was interesting because of the commentary that I listened to, but I listened to one that said that there was tension between Abram and Lot up until this point. I didn't take it as tension between Abram and Lot because it specifically says there was tension between the herdsmen. So does tension between the herdsmen, does that trickle down to Lot and Abram? Trickle up or whatever?
I don't know. Do you have a thought on that, Mario?
I didn't think that there was. I didn't think there was tension between them. But when we go further, Abram does mention don't make this an issue for us.
Right.
So I don't. That would mean we don't have an issue.
Exactly.
Let's not cause an issue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that eventually it would be.
Yeah.
Right, if they didn't nip it.
Yeah.
Nip it in the bud. Isn't that an old saying?
Yeah.
That's the Gen X in me coming
So
out.
I think that people say that still.
Oh, okay.
My family says it.
Okay, cool. But it's almost like, yeah. So when I first read that, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a problem, even all the way to the top, because sometimes the class between the lesser ranked people, if I can say that, it sort of trickles up because the head is ultimately responsible for all the things that happen underneath it.
True.
So now I got these herdsmen and these herdmen fighting, and just imagine if one of them had gotten killed, and it comes up to Lot. Let's say it happens that way. Lot's going to be like, well, I have to respond somehow.
True. Okay.
So if this had continued, I think it would have been a bigger issue for them.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
Because that was one of the things that I thought when I first read it.
Yeah.
Anything. So we see all the stuff that Abram got. Abram had stuff going in.
Yeah.
But as we just talked about, when he kicked them out, he's got even more stuff, and they go through and enlist it. Right? So now Abram's got more than enough. But what about Lot?
He has stuff too.
He got
flocks and herds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I said he had a mini bag. I don't think he had as much as Abram.
No. Yeah.
But he definitely has some stuff with him now too. So much so that they can't coexist in the same area.
Right. With the two of them, but plus the Canaanites and the Perizzites. Is that how you say that? Perizzites? Okay. I can't imagine how much livestock they actually had. If all this land you guys can't coexist with your livestock.
Yep.
Sheesh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, they're in a land with with other people.
Other people. So what's this saying? Like, keep all your family business inside.
Mhm.
Do y'all get the feeling like the Canaanites and the Perizzites are over there looking like, huh? Yeah, they over there fussing and fighting,
I'm sure,
It could be.
right?
especially if Lot makes an issue.
Right. And then what do y'all make of Lot's tents?
Hmm.
Because Abram's not mentioned as having tents. He's just mentioned as having, livestock, silver and gold. Lot's not mentioned as having silver and gold. He's talked about as having herds and um, two words, like one is for big herds, one is for small animals,
Mhm.
and then tents.
I mean, wouldn't we assume that Abram had tents though
Yeah.
from the beginning? Because this is where he originally put his tents.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he didn't take up his tents,
Mhm.
or we just assume you have all this stuff, you have tents as well. Because he never, I think we talked about, I think last episode we were saying tent sounds like you aren't establishing roots there, like
Right.
you're moving,
Moving.
which
Right.
is what he's doing. He's constantly, so far, been on the move.
Right. Yeah,
And they might have just wanted to give Lot some extra stuff. He just said Abram had all this stuff. Let's add tents to Lot. Like he has his own dwelling. He's not staying with
exactly.
Abram.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah.
And I think it's plural because he's got people now.
Yeah.
He's got, just as Abram has people, Lot has people.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, I don't know. Do y'all think it's like Lot is becoming the head of a household?
Yeah.
Do you get that sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
I think we covered everything. Anything else from there that you all want to talk to or see?
I think just random facts, or maybe not facts. Random things I looked up for Canaanites and the Perizzites.
Uh-huh.
I just was like, why is that here?
Yeah.
And when I looked up the Canaanites, I mean, we talked about the descendants of Canaan already, but then it just talked about how they were more city dwellers, merchant traders, like that was their occupation and field. But then the other ones are kind of contrast because they it talked about them being like more village people, not necessarily it's like city life versus it's like city life versus country life.
Yeah.
They are different people,
Yeah.
but all still inhabiting the same area.
Okay.
So I guess that kind of also gives you what that land could possibly look like.
Yeah.
Like it could be, some of it is built up, but some of it is still like very village like.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And then I guess that would lead to the next section when they talk about choosing where you want to
Where you
go.
want to go?
Do you want to go to the city or do you want to stay in the country?
Where you want to go?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I look back to the Table of Nations in Genesis 10. I did not see Perizzites there, but we definitely see the Canaanites, and we remember the Canaanites from descendants of Canaan, right? Who are cursed.
Yeah. And I used the Bible dictionary to just look up the word, and that's what came up. Belonging to a village inhabited southern Canaan prior to their conquest.
Okay.
Is what it came up as.
Cool. All right. Genesis chapter 13, verses 8 and 9, and they read as follows. Then Abram said to Lot, let there be no strife between you and me, and between your herdsmen and my herdsmen, for we are kinsmen. Is not the whole land before you? Separate yourself from me. If you take the left hand, let me do it right. If you take the left hand, then I will go right. Or if you take the right hand, then I will go left.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. So Abram takes the lead in trying to solve this thing.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about his approach?
Like, stop following me, bro. You literally can go anywhere. Just pick a side. But I think that's also why in the beginning I was like, why is Lot just like tagging along? It's mass space. Spread out. God been telling y'all to spread out for a long time. I was like, they be needing too much to get the clue. Like, move out, spread out. There's land, there's space, You don't even have to go to the left or right. Go, just go.
We just get out of here.
Separate
Anywhere.
yourself.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was interesting. Like the wording is interesting. Like, separate yourself from me.
Right.
Get away from me.
We gonna have to split up, homie.
Yeah.
Especially like the is not the whole land before you. It's like, you see all this?
Yes.
Like we don't have to go back and forth. You can just go.
Yeah.
You can take and it goes back to like how much they both had, and I didn't even think about the city, like the rural versus city thing, but he gave him. He didn't say you go over there and I'm gonna go over here. He's like, pick where you want to
Where
go.
you want to go?
We can. You take here, I take here, or no. That either way, I'm cool. Just go away. I found it interesting too. That kind of solidifies the whole lot is kind of just tagging along thing. Like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was interesting to me because the Lord has promised Abram. I'm gonna do that several more times. I'm gonna call him Abraham. I know. It's promised Abram land, and Abram was on his way to Canaan. Abram didn't say, "Look, the Lord promised me Canaan, so I'm going over here.
Mhm.
You have no choice."
Yeah.
He was like, "You make the decision,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Is that Abram taking faith in what in God moving Lot to do something, or is he just being obtuse? You know what I mean?
I feel
Like, like, so if I offer you where I'm supposed to go, and I say you make the choice, you could potentially go there,
Right. Mhm.
and then what? I got to go in later and get you out. So I wonder how much of this is Abram trusting in the Lord to move a lot to make the right decision, or just knowing that it's going to work out exactly the way that the Lord has called for it to work out. Because it seems pretty bold to make that kind of statement. I mean, what
I
did
don't
y'all
know.
agree?
I feel like Abram to me at this point just seems like I'm just here. I'm just here.
You don't think there's anything to it?
I don't think so because even with the promise of the offspring, you don't see him. We don't see anything about it. It's just
We
like
don't see any
you keep saying it. Okay, like I have my altar. I'm still gonna worship. I'm still gonna come to you, but we don't know what's actually going on behind the scenes. So it's hard to say, does he have faith or not? Because we could say the same thing previously when he said, "Say you're my sister." Do you have faith or not?
Right.
And it seems like right now he's just like, I mean, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's how it feels.
And that's what I'm wondering, right? Did that spur him to have more trust?
I would think, yeah. I was gonna say, yeah.
Uh,
I think that was enough for him to be like, okay, now I'll just, like, this is a faith move. Because I certainly would say, if the Lord said, this is the land I'm gonna have, I'm not giving you a
I'm giving you
choice.
an option.
This is mine. I already know this is mine. I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. I need to make sure that I solidify what the Lord said that I'm gonna have.
Right.
Yes, mine. But to say it's like up to you kind of leaves it up to chance, which again makes me think that he was trying this time to have more
Yeah.
faith.
I'm stuck in the middle, right? I don't know
Yeah.
because I can see both sides. I can see him being like, "Hey, the Lord got this," but then there's stuff that happens later. Then I'm like,
Yeah.
"Bro, you really?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
But isn't that all of us though? Isn't that just in general believers?
Yeah.
Like we have these times where you have such strong faith of belief, and you're saying, "I know the Lord's working this out. Is going to work out exactly the way I want to." You just feel tight, and then there's other times where like, I don't know if the Lord moving on this. Let me make a decision and go in a direction
Yes. Yeah.
that may not be aligned with what He wants.
Yes.
And sometimes we talked about this a little earlier. It's hard to hear and understand. That's why we have to be in our word to try and understand these things. But I think there's these peaks and valleys for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean, even the apostles, we talk about this in one of the study sessions that I'm part of. It's like you see Peter make this great declaration, and then in the next chapter, you see him, making a speaking with putting his foot in his mouth, basically, for the type of stuff that he says. So it's like, I wonder how indicative that is of all believers.
Yeah. I don't know. I think timing also matters
Mm-hmm.
because we're being reminded that other people are in this land.
Yeah.
So I don't know what God's plan is. He says he's going to give it to me, but whether or not Lot takes it or not, it's other people here.
Other people there.
Are we even at a point where we could take it?
Right.
Or how is God going to give it to us? Yeah.
I think
So.
Yeah,
I think that's also part of it. That's why I'm like, he's probably just, I'm going with the flow. Like whatever happens, God will work it out. But I don't need to necessarily force it. I think with the Egyptians, it was like, this is life and death. I need to make a decision. Like, I don't have time to wait.
Right. We about to starve out here in these streets.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see it either way. It's just one of the things is when I read it, I was like, why is he allowing this to happen? Next.
All right. Genesis chapter 13, verse 10 to 13. And Lot lifted up his eyes and saw that the Jordan Valley was well watered everywhere, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, in the direction of Zoar.
Mm-hmm.
This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. So Lot chose for himself all the Jordan Valley, and Lot journeyed east. Thus they separated from each other. Abram settled in the land of Canaan, while Lot settled among the cities of the valley and moved his tent as far as Sodom. Now the men of Sodom were wicked, great sinners against the Lord.
Oh man, that should be like some foreboding. Dun.
Yeah, right.
So they separate. Lot picks. What do y'all think about his choice?
I saw some really good commentary. I don't know how deep you guys went on that, but two of the videos I saw said that Lot was making a decision based on what was appealing to his eyes. But and then Abram was left with, he was trying to make that's why another reason why I felt how I felt at the beginning, because he was making a faith decision, whereas Lot was making a like more fleshly decision, like this looks pleasing to me, this is gonna sustain me, looks better than what you might get, so let me take the better of the two. And I'm interested to really see. I would love to see what the two looked like the differences, and what was so nice to him. I mean, for it to look rich, I mean, I guess it was plentiful with vegetation and all. And I saw a video that tried to make a comparison. Like if you see a lot of it was like really dry and dirt, like lots of rocks and things on one side, and then it was beautiful and green on the other side. That's kind of how he made his decision. I mean, I can't lie and say that if I had a choice that I wouldn't have picked the same thing. But I found it interesting that when it says like Lot settled in the land of Canaan while Lot settled among the cities, it's kind of like, okay, well, all right, that's what you picked. Just gonna go. And that leans more go with the flow. So I can kind of see.
Yeah.
Now I can see both sides. Yeah.
In the middle,
Yeah.
both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have something more?
Yeah. I mean, the two things they're comparing it to are, one, the garden of the Lord, which is, I'm assuming, the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
And we already know what that was like. It was like plentiful, like everything just there. And then
still there though.
I know how good the food in the garden tastes.
So that's one vision. And then the other is like the land of Egypt, which is where they went to and saw and was like, they always have everything. Every time there's a famine, that's where we going.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So if that's what I see, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, the famine seem to always be here in Canaan or Jerusalem, or like, so he saw what looked better and he went there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even the words, I don't know why, it just takes me back to Eve. Right? Lot lifted his eyes and he saw that the Jordan Valley was well wise. It's like Eve saw the fruit, that it was desired to make one wise. It's like that whole thing. So back to your fleshly type decision.
Mhm.
I get that. Um, and so he makes that decision, which leaves Abram with Canaan. So all right, hypothetical, right? And I don't know this to be true. Could Lot have not said, "Look, Abram, we're not going to separate. I want to stay with you, cause I wouldn't have all the stuff that I have if I weren't with you."
Hmm.
And I think that being with you in Canaan is going to be better than me being by myself out there in the wild.
Why do we assume that Lot wouldn't have his stuff without Abram?
Abram being the head of, so to me, Abram being the head of the house, we hear about Abram taking his stuff. We don't hear about Lot taking anything that he got. We don't hear about Lot having anything until he leaves Egypt, which makes me think,
Mm.
right? Which makes me think that Lot was blessed because he was accompanying Abram
Mhm.
into Egypt. And so when they started to give Abram stuff, they may have given Lot stuff as well.
Not on.
So that's the only reason I'm wondering about where and how Lot got the animals and the tents or
Yes.
people with him.
So okay, I'm in Genesis 12,
Mhm.
verse 5.
Okay.
And Abram took Sarah his wife and Lot his brother's son and all their possessions that they had gathered and the people that they had acquired in Haran.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's not saying specifically that's Abram's stuff. And we have to remember that Terah took Abram and Lot because Lot is replacing his other son.
Mm-hmm.
So far, what we've seen is when they're dividing assets, so the dad dies.
Yes.
I don't think everything goes to Abram. I think that that is then split, which is why
So,
later on, Abram gets gold and silver. He probably got that from Egypt.
mm-hmm.
Why didn't Lot get gold and silver if he's getting it whatever Abram gets?
Okay.
That's my thought process. Like Abram probably has a lot more because the Pharaoh gave him a lot more.
Yeah.
But I think that Lot had part of the inheritance from the father because we know that they had things to start.
To start. And you think when they say there and
There,
they,
there's
it's
it's the
Lot stuff
collective.
and Abram stuff.
That's how I was reading there because they said Abram, Sarai, Lot, and
Mm-hmm.
their possessions, not because later on we're saying this is Abram's stuff, this
Mm-hmm.
is Lot's stuff.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
prior to that, we're saying this is their stuff.
Okay.
That's how I was reading it.
Okay. And that I don't, I'm not going to fight that. I think that's very valid.
Mhm.
But he still could have said, "Nah, I'm good. I want to stay with you.
He could have, but
Mhm.
why can't I get gold and silver? Because I feel like if I'm benefiting off of you, you would have gave me some gold and silver too. Abram is taking care of himself, and like we said earlier, it seems like Lot is tagging along.
Hold on. So he would have gotten gold and silver too. So you think Abram would have given Lot some of his
If he
gold and
was,
silver?
if I'm benefiting from you, share the wealth.
Mm.
Mm,
No,
I think that Abram. Well, I mean, I guess he could have given it to him, but I think Abram got that because of Sarai,
yes, but
right?
you're saying I'm benefiting from being with you. I'm getting all this stuff because so I must stay with you because you get stuff. So that means I get stuff, but that doesn't mean that because you didn't
Okay.
give me any gold and silver when you got gold and silver.
True.
You didn't give me the
Yeah, you're not sharing what you get.
yeah. You're just keeping it because of whatever. I mean, I
So
don't have to share with you. You're not my kid. Like you're my brother's kid.
I may be digging too much here. So do we think? I wonder. That's the way I should put it. I wonder if Lot knew
The blessing.
about the blessing.
That's what I don't know. But to me, it seems like he doesn't.
Yeah, because why would you separate? Yeah, I don't think so. I wouldn't. If I knew,
You're right.
I'm staying as close to my tie to the blessing as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't, it doesn't feel like he knew. And it wasn't mentioned that he was aware.
Yeah,
Because even at
I
this
don't see that
point, do
happening.
we know that if Sarai is aware
Right,
until later on? Like later on, she's aware, but at this point, is she aware?
right. Because
Mhm.
nothing says that the Lord told them about this, just that He told Abram
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
about this. And I don't know if Abram's going around like, "Hey, we going to this
Yeah.
place that the Lord's going to show us, and I'm going to be a blessing, and we're going to have a bunch of offspring, Sarah. I know what's going on with you, but we about to,
Would you even be bold enough to tell that to a woman who hasn't had any kids in all these
yeah,
years?
that's true too.
At like right now, at this point.
I
Mhm.
mean, if you believe it,
But does he believe it? We've been talking about,
Yeah.
does he have that faith or not yet?
so I think that he does believe that that's going to happen.
Okay.
I think the question is, like you said earlier, how?
Yeah.
Right? It's easy for us. I'm not going to say easy. Things that are told to us um, from Scripture, I think we can believe them. The way that they will be carried out,
Mhm.
I don't think we know.
Mhm.
Sometimes we put ourselves in trying to make things work out when we shouldn't. I mean, think about it, right? Even from last season, God said, and I think this is what you brought up, Jasmine. God said, y'all need to spread out all over the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have ever thought that the way he would cause people to spread out would be to confuse languages
Right.
instead of being like throwing up, I don't know, little mini tornadoes or something, or
Mhm.
causing famines to get people, or doing something else.
Mhm.
So I think it's like we can believe, but sometimes we get caught up in understanding how God is working things out. That,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. That was just a hypothetical. Like, could Lot have said, "Nah, I want to stay"? If and I'm with y'all. If I sort of knew
Mhm.
the promise, I may have looked over there and been like, "Yeah, that looked good." I mean, like, which one wins?
Right.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense? It's like, I know this promise. If he did, I'm not saying he did, but you know this promise, but then your eye sees the Garden of
Yeah.
Eden, the breadbasket of the ancient Near East in Egypt,
Mm.
and I need to go and make a life for myself. Which
Shoot.
one wins?
Telling you.
Maybe I know the promise, and the promise isn't to me.
Hmm.
And it's not. You're
It's
right.
not.
It's not
So
to Lot.
Yeah, but he would be a benefactor,
I would like to
right?
think so, because part of it is he will bless those who bless you
how do I bless you?
by not getting in fights with your herdsmen.
So then when you tell me to leave, I'm being a blessing to you by leaving, right? I'm still a benefactor to it because I'm blessing the person who's going to be the blessing to others.
We
So if
know
you're saying
we
that's,
know the rest of the story, and we know that he's going to be
Yeah.
blessed.
well, I'm saying he doesn't know that.
Mm,
He just knows, well, we don't know what he knows.
I think he's being selfish. I think there's no noble intent. But, I'm always like on the opposite. I lot.
Abram has gold and silver. He'll be all right. Let me get the
yeah,
good land.
I don't know. I guess my thing is, there's more than one way to handle it, because he could have. Abram is going in, and he's the one who's acquiescing,
Mhm.
basically. He's the one who's saying and trying to get this straightened out. It could have been, you want to be a blessing? Go talk to your people.
Mm.
Let's set up a boundary on our own.
Yeah.
Let,
Yeah.
let let me go and do something, instead of Abram saying, "Hey, look, bro, we kinsmen, we fighting. I don't want this to blow up into anything big. Why don't you go and I go?" Nah, man, I wanna hang out with you. We can figure out how to make this work.
I think he genuinely didn't want to. Because if he did, he would have. If he could.
Yeah.
Like, if he wanted to make it work, he would have made it work.
Yeah, I don't know. So what I will say is, we can't be dogmatic about this, right?
Yeah.
Because none of this is in scripture.
Yeah.
So we really, but I don't know. I get on my imaginative flights of fancy and go off into La La Land.
Add it to the list of things to ask.
Right?
Yes.
That's going to be the same from now on. Just add it to the list of things to
We'll ask
ask.
when we get up there.
Yeah.
All right. So, anything else there? Oh, we have to touch on verse 13.
hmm
What do you think about that verse? Now, the men of Sodom were wicked, great sinners against the Lord. Does it make you recall anything? When I read that, it took me to a place, and I'm wondering if it took you all there too.
I'm thinking you're thinking before the flood.
Mm-hmm.
People before the flood.
Yep.
Oh, I was not going there. What? Why? Why? Why?
Why?
Why? Yeah.
Because they're wicked.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what happened before the flood.
And even after the flood.
Yeah. He said their hearts are still wicked,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But the flood came because the hearts of men were wicked and continually evil, like in all things. And so now it's like, I feel like we're getting some insight into Sodom before we really dive into Sodom sometime later.
It confused me that, because okay, that makes sense. But then why are the men of Sodom being called out as wicked? Are there not men of Canaan that are not wicked? That are wicked? Like,
No.
why is that? Because then that, if I had no other knowledge, I would say, okay, well then, is everyone else not wicked? Did all of the people who were wicked, they all collect themselves in Sodom? And then why does it say now? I don't know, that part. A lot of it was confusing to me, but the flood. Okay, I can understand.
Yeah.
I think the way the person writing this is Moses, right? And he's retelling something that was told to him. So maybe because even earlier chapters in our last season, it was like, why are you throwing this in here?
Right.
There were giants, okay.
Right.
And so what? Like
Exactly.
you're throwing things in there so that we can, oh yeah, he did say that when he brings it up later.
Okay.
Yep, exactly. So he's giving us some insight into what we'll see, but also letting us know that the choice that Lot is making is
Gonna
right
end
now
him
we
up.
don't know, but has the potential to lead him down the bad path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. One last thing. Another thing that lets us know that Lot is going down the wrong path is verse 11. So Lot chose for himself all the Jordan Valley, and Lot journeyed east. Thus they separated from each other. Where have we heard people moving east before?
Cain and Abel.
Cain and Abel.
Yeah. Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve out of the
Yeah.
garden. So each time somebody moved east,
Okay, I'm seeing the tie.
it's like
Farther away from
further away from, yeah, exactly.
God.
Yep.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
So I think when you read through this and you see those types of things that Moses has set up, it's like, I don't know if this is going to be a good decision.
Mm-hmm.
And just as you said, Jasmine, he made the decision based on his flesh, not based on. And I think that's why I brought up that question, wanting to be close to the person that's aligned and called by God.
That's wow. Clever writer. I didn't even think of that till you said it.
All scripture is God breathed. Oh man. So, anything else there? Anything else we want to touch on?
I don't think so.
All right. Next up.
All right. Genesis chapter 13, verses 14 to 18. The Lord said to Abram, after Lot had separated from him, lift up your eyes and look from the place where you are, northward and southward, and eastward and westward. For all the land that you see, I will give to you and to your offspring forever. I will make your offspring as the dust of the earth, so that if one can count the dust of the earth, your offspring also can be counted. Arise, walk through the length and the breadth of the land, for I will give it to you. So Abram moved his tent and came and settled by the oaks of Mamre, which are at Hebron, and there he built an altar to the Lord.
Lord be spitting bars. So what's going on? Why is the Lord? We haven't heard from the Lord at all in this chapter, right? But here the Lord decides to speak up. Any reason that you all think that this may be the time for him to do it?
I struggle with this because I feel like I don't know where else I don't know a whole lot of stories of the Bible, so I don't know where else this might be seen, but it felt like reassurance, like that you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You parted before, like you went off and made a choice based on your fear the first time. You are trying, like this is another reason why I think he's trying to do better. You're walking out on faith. You're doing something. You're doing better this time. Let me just reassure you that this is actually gonna, what I said is gonna happen. And I struggle with the reassurance piece because does the Lord need to give you reassurance for you to just do what he's asked you to do?
Yes.
I think so.
You do?
Yeah. So the reassurance isn't for the Lord.
Yeah.
It's for me.
Right. But is that like an expectation you should have that the Lord's going to reassure you?
I don't know if it's expectation. I would say that he knows that we need it or when we need it.
Okay.
Because imagine Lot just took the good land
Mm-hmm.
and you're now in this, how you described, like a deserted place. But this is what God promised to you. And God is saying, it's still promised to you.
Okay.
And I'm looking all different directions. All of this is promised to you. And one what is it called? One commentary I was looking at, they said that where Hebron is, it's like smack dab in the middle of Canaan on a map. So like look around, all of this is yours.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, the reassurance is good. And he's again being reminded of his offspring. You're saying they're gonna be so many. I'm 85. I don't know how old he is. I don't know. He's like 70 something or 80 something. And at this point, it's at least middle age. Like, come where the kids at? So yes, I feel like reassurance is needed.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt. Like it's not like it doesn't take anything away from God and it doesn't take anything away from Abram.
Okay. Okay.
And I agree. I think the big thing, and you pointed this out, is if you were just to look at this at face value, you didn't understand East, and you weren't given the little blurb that Abram didn't have at the time that Moses wrote in that, now the men of Sodom were wicked. They were great sinners against the Lord. If you didn't have that, you might look at it and be like, Lot won.
Yeah.
Lot took the place that potentially could have been mine. And I
Mm.
like how the Lord says, he says, just as Lot lifted up his eyes and saw, what does he tell Abram?
Lift up your
lift up your eyes and look. So
I'm glad that you made mention like it doesn't take anything from Lot or the Lord, because I was feeling like it was taking something away from the Lord, because I assumed that like the Lord's just like, trust me, just trust me, and walk. If I tell you to walk down this dark alleyway, just trust me. Like you're just gonna walk, not like I'm gonna get halfway and be like, should I keep walking?
it depends how long it is.
Okay.
But I mean, you brought it up before we started recording about you're praying about something. How many times did you have to pray about it before you finally said, okay, maybe you are saying yes?
A lot.
Exactly. So what's the difference?
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good point.
I mean, you just think, right? Faith is. I like when you talk about faith. It's. I always look at it like a muscle. It just needs to be built up, and the more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. So early on, your faith may not be that strong, but then you go through something, and the Lord reminds you, yeah, you're still mine. You're still on the right path.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so next time something comes up, if we go back to the alley, it could be 20 feet, and I get through that one. So the next time he tells me to go through one, it's like 40 feet. I'm like, all right, Lord, you got me through the last one. I'm going to go. And then the next one that comes up, maybe 80 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And each time, because of what the Lord is doing, your faith gets stronger and stronger and
Okay.
stronger. And that's why it's a lot of people will try and be like, y'all have blind faith. It's not a blind faith.
Mm-hmm.
It's a faith that's built on Jesus Christ being the object of our faith and one that we trust in completely, but also that he's shown us and reminded us and
Mm-hmm.
moved us and reinforced the things that he said.
Yeah.
So we believe him.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a really good. I'm telling you, if that could have been what do we call the invitation? Yeah, that hit me.
Man. So, uh, and then where I got the title, he walks it out.
Mm-hmm.
Almost when it says to walk, to walk the region, to walk the area? What are y'all thinking? What comes to mind?
I think about those people who like buy a plot of land and they want to build on it, but they walk around it, they pray over it, they like do all the things. I think my dad does that too. Like when you buy a new house, you walk through that house, you pray over your house, and you're thankful that this is what God is giving you, but you're also like covering it.
Yeah, covering it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it's also a claim thing. I remember Tony Evans was talking about when he started the church. They were starting in a basement, and they realized that they were growing and needed a building. But the whole funding thing with buildings and all of that, they had to work out. And I believe, if I remember the story correctly, Tony Evans was driving by a lot of land, and he was like, something told him to stop, and he walked around all of that land like this. This
Mm-hmm.
is what you're telling me we should have. So I'm going to walk around it and pray that this is what you're giving me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's what this is. Like, go see what I got for you. Walk around it. Claim it. It's yours.
Yeah.
How exciting! I'd have been so pressed. Oh my God, this is mine.
You'd have been skipping around it, running
I
around
sure
it.
would.
All the people who live in there gonna be looking at you like, what are you doing, bro?
You claiming this for who? We already here.
Mhm. He said length and breadth. Trust me, I would have been doing laps. All of this is mine. Everything that I'm looking out to see is mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, he still doesn't know how all of this will transpire.
Yeah.
But the Lord says that I will give it to you. All of the things that the Lord has been telling Abram up to this point is what the Lord, is going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they settled in Hebron, just as you said, and built an altar.
Yeah.
And that's that. Anything on those last couple of verses?
Isn't this the third time he built an altar?
Yeah, I think it
This
is.
is the third.
Because it was 2 the last chapter,
Mm-hmm.
and then this is the
And then
third.
this one. And one that he built in the last chapter he revisited was still there.
Mm-hmm.
The one between Bethel and AI, I think, as he was backtracking back up to where he came from. So
And he's building the altar to do what again? He's praying. Is he gonna what's done at the altar? So that I'm clear. Because why do we keep rebuilding them? Why can't we just go back to the last one?
Probably because of how far apart they are.
Oh.
How far apart they are.
yeah.
And I think the altar is where you go to experience the presence of the Lord for them.
Okay.
Agreed.
We don't have to build altars anymore, but
Right.
it
Okay.
seems like that's, I mean, ever since Noah came off the boat, did anyone else build an altar before that?
That's what we said. I think even there that I don't know how he knew to build an altar. I don't know how he knew clean animals needed to be sacrificed at the altar. I don't know, but it almost feels like, but Cain and Abel, they gave offerings, so it could be from
At
that.
an altar, maybe, possibly
Potentially
at an
at an
altar.
altar.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it could be something that's been done that the Lord has called and is being carried forward through
Okay.
generations.
Okay.
But yeah, I agree with you. It's a place to commune, for lack of a better term, with God.
Okay.
Right? His presence is here. And then usually when it's a couple of times when it said that he built an altar, also said that he called upon the name of the Lord, which we think is worship.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So,
All right.
right?
I would say that they didn't have to be at the altar to hear from God, because all the times where God is speaking to him, they're not saying he's at the altar.
Hmm.
So it could be, again, just something for us as humans, like somewhere, a quiet place,
Yeah.
like somewhere to go to be like, okay, I'm here focused on this,
Right.
Okay.
and everyone around me will know when I go here, this is what I'm doing.
Yep.
Okay. That makes sense.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hmm.
All
Mhm.
right. So I think the last thing that we like to do here is just offer a short invitation. Um, we've gone through, we're going through Genesis. If you haven't had a chance, you can check out chapters 1 through 11, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
For last season, season 3. Now we're going 12 through 24. But I think the overall theme has been the same, that the Lord is working out, right? Um, his plan for people on the earth. Um, and part of that plan, the ultimate of that plan, I don't want to say part, that's doing a disservice. The ultimate of that plan is to reconcile all of creation back unto himself, including us as people who fell in the garden through Adam in Genesis 3 and who um, need to be reconciled. No way that we can do it on our own. No money that we have can do it. No possessions that we have can do it. No work that we do can do it. The only way that the Lord has determined to reconcile people unto himself is through none other than his son Jesus. And what we need to understand about Jesus is he is who he said he was. And that Jesus is the only begotten Son of the Father. That Jesus is God. That Jesus is the one who comes to take away the sins of the world. And to partake in that um, uh, removal of sin, you need to believe that Jesus died on the cross for your sins, a death that no one else could die, to pay a debt that no one else can pay, that he was buried in a tomb, and 3, that he was raised on the 3rd day. If you know those things, if you believe those things, then you are a child of God. And so we would urge you to believe. Uh, we would love to hear from you if you do. Uh, but yeah, just keep that in mind. Any questions you have, please let us know. But on that note, I think we're good. Any last things?
Nope. See
All
y'all
right,
next time.
folks. We out of here. Deuces.
Bye.
Bye.